Happy Sunday morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well today. It is September the 12th, 2021. I hope that this is actually filming this morning. My little counter did not come up. My camera person is not here today. Please keep her and her husband in your prayers. Her husband is going to be having some surgery in a couple of weeks, and she felt it best to quarantine themselves so that nothing goes wrong. And they get sick of any kind before this surgery. So I've got enough songs left over from the request from last week to actually fill almost all of this week. So that's why you did not see a song request go out this morning or earlier this week. Sorry. And so we're going to finish up with those today, and those were songs that just try to be some real encouragement just because of so much sickness that's going on, not just here in the United States, but around the world. I know one of my viewers that's in New Zealand, they've been in lockdown for about 3 weeks now, and it's still going to continue on. So we need to continue our prayers. So first off this morning, I've got one that actually I have never played up until just a couple of days ago. So, hope you enjoy it. It's Eternal Father, Strong to Save. Next, one that we normally hear it at Easter time, but it's good to be reminded all throughout the year. He lives. Next, one that I love because his eye is on the sparrow. I was talking to my little boy the other day because he was worried about some stuff. He's going through a stage right now of worrying a lot, and he's only 5. But I told him, I said, you know, God watches over the birds, and they don't have to worry about what they're going to eat because they just trust that God will supply it. So his eye is on the sparrow, and I know he's watching me. I am going to take a quick peek at my camera just to make sure that everything's good. When I don't have somebody on the backside and Facebook lets me know that they have changed all the settings again and I may need to look at that, I'm just going to take a quick peek. So excuse me just a second. All right, I see positive comments, so I'm guessing everything's okay this morning. That puts my mind at ease, so now I can play hopefully a little smoother. All right, next up is the unseen hand. Indeed, we are trusting to that unseen hand. Next up, one of my absolute favorite hymns, and I used to sing the chorus to this one so many times to my little boy whenever I would be trying to get him to go to sleep at night. I'd be rocking him, and it's Wonderful Peace. And if there's ever a time that we need that peace, it is definitely now. Go into the Redback hymnal real quick. One that I don't play very often at all, and it's not a big boisterous one nor fast, but it's Whispering Hope. of slow songs. They're not all slow. Towards the end, it will definitely pick up. All right, next up is Sheltered in the Arms of God. Next, Palms of Victory. I remember so well growing up, Bill Brown at the South Lenore Church of God. This was one that he would sing, and then the choir would back him up on it. So, enjoy. Next, Master of the Sea. Let's go back to the red back just a minute. And while I'm getting things settled real quick, I do want to tell somebody something. One of you were on YouTube and you asked what book is I Have a Hope in. I did give you a written response, but just to make sure, like I said before, the Church of God used to print out what we call convention books, and they came out every year. And that song, I Have a Hope, is in the Beautiful Gospel book. It's page 158. And this one was printed in 1982. So if you're looking for that song, looking for the words, this is the book that it's in. All right, moving right along. Let's do Precious Memories. Next, what a friend we have in Jesus. Next, I know who holds tomorrow. do know who holds my tomorrow. My faith and my trust is in Jesus Christ, none other. Definitely not anything in this world or anybody, but my faith stands true and strong in Jesus Christ. Next up, I want to do a very special request that was sent in yesterday. I think I requested prayer last week. I know I did here in church for a friend whose wife was, by the doctor's standards, dying of COVID, and it was getting really, really close. She had already had 3 of the antibodies treatments, and the doctor said usually if they haven't started changing by the 3rd one, then there's no hope. And on Saturday morning, the doctor told him to go ahead and prepare for the worst. But come Sunday, everything changed. And on Tuesday, she got to go home. So she's at home this morning, at her earthly home, not the heavenly home yet. But their faith and their trust was anchored strong in Jesus Christ. So, Rocket, here's great is thy faithfulness. And I'm not going to do this one in the regular concert style that I normally do. Just going to see which way we wing it this morning. Indeed, God is faithful. Don't ever give up. And next to follow in with that one is, it was second. Well, it's requested every once in a while, but I hadn't done it but until just a few weeks ago. And so Charles Ledford, here's yours. I know he heard my prayer. I promised you that we would start picking up the pace towards the end, so we're getting towards the end now. And this request did come in yesterday, I think, also, and redeemed. Now let's have some real fun. And Stuart Langford, I'm going to dedicate this one to you this morning because this was one of your dad's absolute favorites. Just a Little While. Next up, I Feel Like Traveling On. We've come to the end of the program, and normally, I like to do a real barn burner, so to speak, something really fast. But today, in honor of what yesterday was here in America, 9/11, and we celebrated, well, not really celebrate, but remembered the 20th anniversary of the terrorist attack. And on the next day, and for several weeks to follow, churches were opened all the time for people to come in for prayer, and church attendance was way up. What's it going to take, people, for us to get back into church and get our churches full again? Don't hesitate. Be in church. But let's do God Bless America. Have a blessed week, and I hope to see you next Sunday. Goodbye.